honestly, like you just can't be ashamed of what you do. Like you just have,
Yeah.
if you really want to do this YouTube thing, you have to be willing to put yourself out there. Whether on the track. Welcome to the Common Podcast, where we speak upon common sense and realize it really isn't that common. All right, guys. So before I get to receive the honor to introduce today's guest, I do want to pay homage to today's Patreon. So for those of you that don't know, I kind of explained it on my last podcast. I set up a Patreon page where there are tiers which you can purchase, which will help me help the show directly produce more content and better quality content. Okay, I'll get more in depth on a separate own video, but Matthew Lozano, big shout out to you. He hit with the big tier, $12, and what that tier does, and specifically, is it gives you full content control over the next discussion. So today's topic is going to be exactly what he wants it to be about. So just to give you an idea of what you know what to expect when you're doing these Patreon tiers. Okay, so his question, and I thought that this guest was gonna be the best guest for the situation, for his desired content is gonna be beginning or starting your own content, how to do it. So essentially what he's asking is, if you decided to do YouTube, if you wanted to do TikTok, whatever it is, on any type of social media, what would be the way to go about it? Okay, so without further ado, we have Ana Rodriguez. Say what's up.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my YouTube channel.
All right, so for those of you that don't know, which probably a lot of you won't know,
A lot of
watching the
people won't know.
podcast, because our
Not the YouTube channel.
our viewers are very divided, I would assume.
No,
But
yeah.
Ana has 3.9 subscribers in how long of a span?
I started my sophomore year of high school, so I would say, what year was that? Probably like 2017, 2021, like 4 years.
4 years.
4 years, around.
So around 4 years. And I thought you were the best guest for this because I know in the beginning you were asking me for advice.
No, yeah, I was.
You were.
Yeah.
And it's pretty weird because me myself, if y'all were to check, if you're watching this on YouTube, you notice I don't have much subscribers at all. So the fact that she was asking me for advice and now she has way more subscribers than I do, way more subscribers, it's like, what? Like, how did that happen?
I feel like it's not even like a lot of subscribers either, like compared to like these big time. But no, yeah, I definitely get what you mean. It's like a small YouTube kind of account.
Yeah, well, see, because that's what's so important. That's why I also thought that you can your input would be very valid, because we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about growth and how sometimes growth can be stumped, and then sometimes how growth is like it's off the charts. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it all falls on the YouTube algorithm and how YouTube works.
Yeah.
Like,
it literally just depends on like if people like the title of, you know, your video, and then like the type of thumbnails you make, you know, it honestly, that has a big factor on like how people like engage with your videos, because that's the first thing that they see. And then if they want to click on it or not, and then if YouTube just kind of just throws your videos and like has it to where people want to like kind of categorize it, and then, you know, it's up to them whether they want to watch it or not.
And then there's a lot of things that go into play when starting up, specifically a YouTube channel, but a bunch of different social media platforms. So I think going into it, you have to know your audience, right? You have to know what type of content you're going to be producing and stuff like that. So who are you going to attract, what type of age groups and all of that stuff, which me in my past, I've had trouble myself figuring that out. And that's the reason why my channel hasn't had much growth. That's one of the reasons why my channel hasn't grown to where I feel it needs to be. Another reason is just simply consistency. The consistency of upload is what's gonna drive YouTube to put you up on their algorithm.
Yeah, and even then, like when I first started out YouTube, I didn't know like what I wanted to do, and I still feel like I don't really know exactly what kind of videos I want to be making. Like at first, I wanted to be a beauty guru and just make makeup videos and stuff like that,
Yeah.
but now I'm just kind of doing like lifestyle kind of vlogs and just like putting out what I want to put out, you know. And then if people like it, then they like it, and if they recommend certain videos that they want to see, then I'll do it.
Yeah, I think at the great span of things, as long as you're having fun doing it,
Yeah,
at the end of the
exactly.
day, like you just go after and attack it. If you have a passion in you to make content, then
It shouldn't feel like a chore.
yeah.
Because then I feel like people get stuck in that thing. Like, it's like, oh my God, like, I need to do this. And I kind of catch myself like, oh my God, I need to post this video. But then it's like, am I really just doing it like for fun? Or am I doing it because like I feel like I have to? So that's where I kind of just take a step back and then like see when I'm going to post and just stuff like that.
Yeah, it's real tricky. It's real tricky, YouTube and other platforms. Like I explained on one of my podcasts, TikTok. Like I still have not figured out TikTok.
Yeah, I kind of been wanting to start making TikToks, but honestly, I feel like a lot of people like that blow up on TikTok, then they make a YouTube channel, or they blow up on Instagram or Twitter, and then they make a YouTube channel. And it's like, I don't have that platform anywhere else. You know, I'm specifically growing it from like YouTube,
which is difficult too, because YouTube is probably one of the hardest places to grow, because people are specifically going to YouTube to watch videos. If you were like on Facebook, Instagram, all this stuff, you're not going to see videos, right? You're going to see like, you're just going to see people's daily lives and anything like that. And you come across that like, oh well, I really like this person and they seem pretty entertaining. Oh, they have a YouTube channel. Let me go check it out. You know what I mean? Same thing with TikTok.
And what you were kind of saying like about consistency, it literally is about consistency, because there was a time where I was uploading every single week and I saw growth, you know. I feel like with consistency, it has a lot of potential, you know, on like how your channel is gonna go from there. Like it can literally skyrocket, and it could literally just either make it or break it, or you know, not even break it. Like you're like my views, like I feel like they're very like, some are good, some are bad, and it's just like, it literally just depends on the algorithm of YouTube.
And that's why, because I feel comfortable talking to you about stuff like this, because you know, we're related. But that's exactly why I brought up the screen here. Is like, we see 20,000 subscribers, then literally the next upload views, 20,000 views, and in the next video we see 259. And in the next we see 1,900, and then the next we see 500. And you see how like it's so like, what is going on?
Actually, I went back because I hadn't been seeing like my views and stuff, and when I was like on a 2-month break or something like that. But I checked back, and I started getting all these notifications from YouTube saying that people were commenting, and I'm like, you know what? Let me go see like how my videos have been doing, because you know. I didn't know this whole video was blowing up this whole entire time while I was off of YouTube and getting money from that video. And I actually just got my first paycheck. So
no way.
Yeah, I got my first paycheck.
How much?
It was almost 300.
Shut up.
300, and it was because of that video. I don't know if you want to go to it.
Hair? This one?
No. It was let me see. Go down. It was a high school one that I did in high school. That one I tried out for my high school cheer team.
Writing's not that easy.
And it has 100,000 views.
Dang,
this sentence is grammatically correct.
But we're not gonna show that.
No, yeah. So I guess the reason why it blew up, because
You look so young.
I was a junior. I was a junior, and I was trying out for my senior high school cheer team. And and I feel like it blew up because a lot of girls are trying out for cheer teams. A lot of girls want to see like, okay, let me get tips on what I can do better and this and that. And they search up, you know. And since I tried out and I didn't make it, even though I didn't make it, I was so like conflicted. Like, should I post it or should I not? Because then I'm gonna look like a loser.
Yeah.
But it's like so many girls go through that, you
Yeah.
know. So many girls want to see that, and if I can be that support system, then just, you know,
It's very
let's
bold
see.
that you uploaded it, and a lot of, like you said, a lot of girls can relate to it, and that's
Yeah.
why I think why it blew up. But even that, like, wow, which is why I wanted to talk to you too about content, because we have this conflict where it's like, yes, we want to do what we love, but at the same time, if we don't see that feedback, then we also get motivated. So we're caught in like the content does matter, but at the same time, we're like, well, I want to do what I love. So I believe there has to be a balance. And
Yeah, for sure.
and also a balance, which I talked to on the Ben Allen podcast, is there also has to be a balance between, like you said, like if I just want to do a vlog, which or do something that is timeless, like this video. See how you got like $300? How long ago? Like 3 years ago, 4 years ago,
Yeah, like about 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
A vlog would not do that.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah, and okay, the $300, it wasn't all from that video,
okay.
but it had majority to do with that
Okay,
video.
okay.
But
So,
no.
but you see my point. Like a vlog is not timeless.
Mhm.
They will watch that within a week's time. Your subscribers, the ones that are already subscribing, or like, you know, you'll get a few new subscribers or whatnot. But a year from now, there's not going to be somebody searching up that vlog, as opposed to if you were to put something out that literally is going to have value content for the next 5 years, and let's just say something easy like how to create a YouTube channel. Somebody's gonna search that and they're gonna find it. You know what I mean?
They're gonna find the video.
You know what I mean? So like we're caught in the content creative side of things where it's like, okay, like what do we attack?
Yeah, and just because like you make a video, like let's say I make a video, like, you know, this video, you post it, just because you just posted it doesn't mean it's gonna blow up in a day.
Yeah.
It literally takes time. Like, you know, you just literally have to like just trust the process and
Trust the
just
process.
hope, and you know, maybe a year from now, 2 years from now, like it'll just be like this thing where everyone likes to watch, like, and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Just depends.
Yeah, it really does depend. And that's why YouTube is so weird.
Yeah, it really is. You never know. You never know. Like, you know, what if all my videos blow up? Then what, you know?
Best case scenario, right?
Best case.
So kind of going back to his question in the very beginning, like what is your or what advice, I guess, what would we give? I remember the last advice that you asked me, and I think it was like the biggest advice that I gave you, even though I probably wasn't in the position to give advice, but I had been doing YouTube for a very long time.
Yeah, you have been. You were pretty like on it too.
Yeah, I was
at the
on
time.
but I was very consistent. I would have like months where like I'd be like, 3 months straight, like doing it very good. I had my little community and then fall off, and I would lose that community, build another community. You know, I just wasn't consistent enough. But I think the biggest piece of advice, and I remember in the beginning, you didn't want people to know.
I didn't. I really didn't.
You didn't want your friends to know. You didn't want the people at school to know. You were
wow,
so,
you remember that?
yeah, because I think that was the key factor for you to blow up. Because you were like, no, it's because I don't know, like it's because people are finding out, but I really don't want them to find out, and blah blah blah.
No,
and then I told you, I don't know if you remember, I was just like, honestly, like you just can't be ashamed of what you do. Like, you just have, if you really want to do this YouTube thing, you have to be willing to put yourself out there, whether you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that was
so glad you say that. Now I'm remembering, because I was literally just talking about it with Jeremy, and I was telling him like, yeah, at first when I started my YouTube thing, because I've been so motivated to just film more YouTube videos, and I was telling him like, yeah, before, like when I first started off, like my sophomore year of high school, I didn't want anyone to know from school. I was so scared that people from school would make fun of me, because I would hear these girls like talk about like, oh yeah, like they would make fun of me, they would bully me, and it's like, okay, I don't want to get bullied. So I would just hide it. I only told like this really like close group of friends that I had, and I only told them, and they're like, no, like let us post it and let people like follow you. And I'm like, well, I just want to get found, you know, just on YouTube. But you know, like you really like just have to trust that process. So
that's difficult to just like try to get known.
And then so finally they're like, okay, once you hit 100 subscribers, please let us post, like please let us, so that people can like see from school. And I was like, okay, fine. So I reached 100 subscribers. They posted it, everyone was subscribing. They were like, oh, you have a YouTube channel, like that's so cool. And I'm like, yeah, thanks, or whatever. And then next thing you know, 1,000 subscribers.
And that was real quick, right? Like, how long did you get?
To be honest, I don't know, but I was tracking it. I have a video. It would take me a while to find it,
but it was like, in comparison to hitting 100 subscribers and 1,000 subscribers, was it?
It was
the time difference.
Probably like a few months. Not gonna lie, compared to like me getting 100 subscribers, it was definitely quicker from 100 to 1,000. Yeah.
You see, and that proves my point that like that you can't be afraid.
Yeah, you can't.
Because people are gonna. If people laugh at you, they're gonna laugh at you.
Yeah, it's the internet. Like so many things like can happen. Like people can make fun of you. People are with you. People are not. And it's literally like you just have to be like yourself and just.
For sure.
Yeah.
You have to be unapologetically yourself, because if you try to be someone you're not, then you are gonna get.
Yeah, and I kind of caught myself also too, like just trying to be like YouTubers that I saw, but I'm like, no, like I'm not like that. That's not me.
You can grab some inspiration from other people.
Oh yeah,
like
for
this
sure.
podcast is inspired from somewhere. You know what I mean? But yeah, you just can't be afraid to put yourself out there. You can't be afraid of getting ridiculed. You can't be afraid of people that are going to critique you. You can't be afraid of people that are going to make fun of you, because it's going to come from all different angles. But as long as you're doing what you love, just keep focused. And I think what people struggle with the most is, and we all do it as human beings, is focusing on the negative. There can be like 100 good comments and then one negative comment. And
for sure. I've actually gotten like my first couple of hate comments, but honestly, you just have to just brush it off. Like it's like whatever. Like some girl told me like my voice is annoying. I'm like, I'm sorry. Like don't watch me. I don't know. It literally just depends. But you were saying about advice. What advice to give?
Yeah. Okay. Before you get into that, keep that note. What were you just saying about
hate comments?
Oh yeah, hate comments. I recently got some hate comments off of the Mask and the 100% podcast.
Oh, I guess because
that's a touchy subject.
Yeah, no, it is
topic, and we'll get into this right after you talk about what you just said. When you're putting content out there publicly, you got to be able to be ready to receive negative comments publicly. If you're gonna dish out something publicly, you got to be able to receive it publicly. So you know what I mean. Just be ready for that.
Yeah. So, and it's kind of like a debate. Like, you know, if you're gonna put something out there, back it up. Like, you know, be ready to have your facts listed, and then see what you can come.
If you don't have your facts, set a disclaimer. Hey, listen, I don't have facts. I'm just going based off of my opinion.
Then they're gonna be like, nah.
But in her defense, she's gonna be like, well, then I'm not really gonna believe that person, which is okay.
Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. I just feel like this generation, oh hell no.
Which, if y'all are watching this podcast and you have not seen the podcast before this, I talk about entitlement and how it has made society so soft. So if you haven't seen it, go check it out.
Hey, that's so true. Check it out.
Okay, back to say. Someone's going to start off their YouTube channel today after watching the podcast. What is your advice?
My advice would just be to just start. Like, you don't have to just have this nice camera. You don't have to have this ring light or this, you know, setup. Like, I literally started with my phone. Like, just me recording myself. Have my Dollar Tree, you know, my makeup and all that stuff. Like, just do it. Like, just be yourself, and if people are gonna like you for who you are and not with what you have, then just they'll subscribe.
And how good is this? How good does it feel to look back at the old videos and see the quality change?
Oh my god, it blows my mind. Sometimes I don't even want to go and look back, because I just feel like, oh, I'm so cringe. But
that's the process. That's the beauty of it. You know what I mean? It's like, wow, look at my progress. You see, if you didn't take that leap and be like, I'm just gonna make content with and you waited to get a nice camera and all this stuff, then all this probably would have never happened. So you had to take that opportunity, you had to take that chance, and you had to just do it. This podcast and what I have right now, the 2 cameras and all this stuff, like, this was like 6-7 months in the process, and I'm still not happy with the setup. I still have a lot of things that I want to add, and I will add. But I was like, you know what? I can't wait anymore.
You can't put it off.
Yeah,
you
I
just
need
need
to
to
do it.
jump in it.
I
And
do.
there's really no perfect timing. There's no perfect timing. You just, if you want to do it, just do it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what other advice I could
If
give.
you wait for the perfect opportunity, it will never come because there's no perfect opportunity.
Yeah, you couldn't have said it any better. That's so true.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember, my first video was filmed off of my phone, and I'm like, I don't even know what the hell I'm going to talk about. Like, I'm just going to do my makeup.
Hi guys.
And it was so cringe, so cringe. But now, like, I'm more, like, confident, I guess, and just more just, okay, like, I know how to act, like, in front of a camera. I'm not, yeah, I do get nervous, but it's just something you shake off.
Yeah, but I love that nervousness. That nervousness before a podcast, before a YouTube video, like the 10 seconds before, action is like, oh, I love that adrenaline. You know what I mean? And then once we get into this a nice conversation like we're doing now,
Yeah.
it just all goes away
No,
for
yeah,
me.
for sure. No, I was kind of feeling like a little like nervous, and then I was like, okay, like,
I'll tell you what, everybody that's been on the podcast has felt that way. So
for real.
not in your face, so.
No, yeah, I feel like that too when I'm filming like my YouTube videos, but you just shake it off and you just go about your day.
For sure. So I agree with you 100% on your first advice. You just got to do it. You
Yeah.
got to do it. What would be your second advice?
My second advice is just to be consistent. Just, I feel like I'm kind of being like a hypocrite right now because I am not the most consistent person. Like, I have work, I have school, so many things on my plate. I feel like you have a good time, like, you have a good, like, thing of managing it, everything.
I try to do my best, but I have a lot of stuff going on as well.
Yeah, and that's just something you just have to just do. Just be consistent, like, make time for it, and don't feel like you have to. Just, like, make it fun,
Yeah, and I feel like you're in the best position to talk about that because that's something that you struggle with.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to execute it in order to talk about it. You're seeing the fallback. You see how, okay, this video didn't do good because I'm just not being consistent. Somebody that's being consistent and has never seen that downfall of views are gonna be like, they're not gonna have that insight of like, oh, it's because I wasn't consistent.
Yeah, like this last video that I posted, I was gonna plan, like, I was like, okay, like, let me just sit down and plan what I'm gonna do for the day. But it's like, no, like, I don't wanna, like, have it like, how it's gonna be. I just want to do it and just do it, because if I don't plan it, I won't do it. So just do it. You just literally just do it, like, as easy as it sounds.
Yeah,
Just
so
do it.
and I agree with you, but there needs to be a balance too. Like, you have to put your best content, but there has to be a point where you got to do it, because then if you have that mindset of like, I just want to put the best content out there, you won't be consistent.
Mm-hmm.
So, but consistency is key, especially on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Or any platform. But YouTube really pays homage to the people that are consistent. If you're putting up videos out there, YouTube will put you on higher up on the algorithm, and people are more than likely gonna find you just on the YouTube platform itself. But YouTube's kind of broken too. With the notifications, people don't even know when I upload sometimes.
Yeah.
And they're like, what, you uploaded a
that
video?
is-
They get it like 2 days late and like that. So but being consistent is gonna help you
Yeah.
with that.
And also just put yourself out there and, post whenever you post a video. Post it on Instagram, post it on Snapchat, have your friends, like, post here and there, so their people or their following can, like, see, and they'll be like, oh, like, this seems interesting, let me go look.
Yeah, and that goes back to the advice that I gave you, is like, you can't be afraid to put yourself out
Yeah.
there.
Mm-hmm.
Because like me putting my podcast and videos up on Facebook, like me sharing stuff like that, I'm still kind of like, oh, about it.
No, I'm exactly that way too, because I don't have my Instagram on private because I want them to see my YouTube channel, and like, maybe, like, people, like, I don't know, I kind of feel like people from work, what if, like, someone doesn't like me, and they go on my profile, what if, like, they just look into it for not the right reasons,
No.
so that's why I
So
kind of,
yeah, you're afraid that they're gonna get ammunition to like just
yeah, so, but also you just really just have to, like, knock that feeling off and just,
I'm worried. I think my biggest worry right now is that, like, it's going to the stuff that I talk about on the podcast is gonna be so controversial that maybe my bosses are gonna find out and they might not like it. And they're like, listen, you can't be, you know what I mean?
I don't think so.
It's because I one of my favorite YouTubers, like he literally was put in an ultimatum where he had to either quit his job or continue making YouTube because the job that he was working for, they didn't want that.
Oh, but it's not like you put out where you do say where you work. Oh, okay.
Yeah, which recently all the podcasts that I've been putting out, I'll have it blanked out. Like I'm just I'm a manager. That's it.
Yeah, I mean honestly, just do like you told me, like just do what you want to do, and who cares, you know.
So putting it on your social platforms, it can get tricky sometimes, but if you have nothing to lose, don't be afraid to put yourself out there.
Yeah, and maybe I should take my own advice, you know, be more consistent and just post, you know, good content, you know. And also the advice that I can give is like, even though you're also just this small, you know, YouTuber that you're barely starting off with your phone or something like that, you know, download editing app. You know, it doesn't have to be like these fancy edits. You know, people are gonna like you for who you are,
For sure.
and not because of like I mean, the quality of your video also has to do a factor, but you know, people are there for your personality and because they like you.
The quality will come inevitably. And one of my biggest advice too is like you have to do your homework. If you want to be a creator, you have to know, again, like I said, you have to know your audience. You have to know what's best. And you may not have the financial funds, or you may not be put in a situation to do it right now, but let's work towards that. You know what I mean? Let's get the quality to the point where it needs to be.
Yeah, because I didn't have this backdrop, you know, for my YouTube videos. It just comes as you go.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure. Yeah, and if you like continuously tell yourself like, okay, I need to get better, stuff like this will happen.
For sure.
So, another thing is, and I think it's pretty basic, but I think it's important as well, is the marketing name. Because that was something I've struggled with. I've changed my YouTube name like 3 times already.
Yeah.
Like, and it's difficult. I finally just changed it to like the way you have it, your name.
Yeah, honestly, I was figuring out like, should I use my name, should I not? But what this, not marketing name, but kind of like this thing to call my following, I want to look for a name in that, like a name to call them, you know. So that's something that's been on my mind since literally the day I got my channel, and I think I finally found that is like City Girls.
What if it's a guy?
It doesn't matter.
He's a city girl?
Yeah.
See, that's just messing with genders now.
Don't get me started.
All right. So, I like it though, because people are going to be able to find you if they know you personally. Ana Rodriguez. Like, oh, let me see if, you know, I think there's other ways to do that though. Like if you put hashtags, like, so like if, let's say my name was YouTuber123, but in the hashtags of every video I put Rogelio Quintero Jr. People will still be able to find me by that. You know what I mean?
I didn't know that.
But that's difficult. And then again, once they look up Rogelio Quintero Jr. and they find your YouTube channel, they still won't know it's you unless you have your AVI as, or the profile picture as your face or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's difficult too, figuring out what your name, because it might not be even Rogelio Quintero Jr. Like that doesn't even sound, it's a mouthful, doesn't sound marketable. But for the time being, I'm just going to keep it like that because I want people to find me for who I am.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know.
It takes time.
Yeah.
It takes time to figure out a name and
Did you see the podcast with Ben Allen?
No.
Okay, so he gives really good advice. You check it out. He has 2 YouTube channels that have blown up crazy.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, he has 27,000 on one,
wow.
on Army, and then on his Pokemon, which he started like 4 months ago, he has like 1,000 something. His TikTok has like 67,000. He has an Instagram page with 100 and something.
And you know what? That's something that I want to, like, I've been planning so much, you know. I'm even thinking of just like quitting my job just to like focus on this, because you know, I feel like I have great potential. I think like I if I put myself to the task, like I could do it. Like I know I can.
Yeah.
So
I feel like you can still do it with your job.
No, yeah, that's why I was thinking. I wanted to go ahead and just work like on the weekends and then throughout the week, so I can focus on school. After I get out of school, I can do that, but also just have my job. But it got like I was started planning so much. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have these like so many ideas. Let me just like quit my job and see where I can go from there.
Yeah.
Because like I feel like sometimes you just have to take risk.
Yeah. I say do it.
Like, I know, right? I know. I've been told that so many times.
I would love to see, because this is why I'm telling you, before you have kids, before you have a house, before you get married, you're young. How old are you? 21?
21?
19?
18.
You're 18?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, you're so young.
She's a city girl.
So... You're 18 years old, Nana.
I know. That's why I feel like I have so much potential in me.
Before you start to get older and you start to like get all of these crazy bills and responsibilities, go for it one last time. But write it down. Write down your goals. Right, like that's why I'm writing everything down now.
Yeah, I want to start writing down my goals.
I have to, because if not, like I come to my room every single day. I have to see that. I have to see my schedule. I have to see those quotes that I have on there. Teddy Roosevelt has been my biggest. That quote has been my biggest inspiration this year.
Wow.
Accomplish what you can, what you have, with exactly what you have right now. You know what I mean? Wow. If I wait for that perfect opportunity, it's never going to come. So I need to do it now.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. Like, honestly, like I'm young, just take that risk. And I've been planning so much. And I just have these crazy ideas in my head, and I just really think that I have potential in myself, and hopefully I look back at this video and I'm just like, wow, I'm so glad like you believed in yourself this much.
And I believe in you too.
Thanks. But what were we saying?
We were talking about the name and marketing. Which we're kind of already okay. So my point about bringing up Ben, his name is Ben Alvarado, but his middle name is Alan. So he put his YouTube name as Ben Allen, which is a lot better than Ben Alvarado. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah. Stuff like that. Like that was perfect. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's not a mouthful.
People are just blessed with these names. Right? That just go together.
Rogelio Quintero Jr. Are you kidding me?
Ana Rodriguez. All basic.
No, that's not too bad
though. But I was kind of more of like saying like, I just want to, plan these things out, and I was saying that I have so many plans that I just, if I can spread on TikTok and just Instagram, just build content from there, kind of just spread like, oh hey, like I have my YouTube channel, if y'all want to go check it out, and now that I'm going like to school, esthetician school, that's where you do like lashes, waxing lashes, and all that. Thanks, I'm getting them done tomorrow. But yeah, so like if I can just because some girls, they search like, oh, like how is it being an esthetician school or something like that, and if I can just, oh, like this is my day, like this is what we do here, some people just want to look into that and can spread it on TikTok and stuff.
I follow a girl that I went to school with on TikTok, and she does I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know exactly what she does, but she's going to college, and then she gives like if she has homework or she has like a study guide, she'll literally do it like, oh hey, if you're in this program like me, like this is my advice, and she literally does advice videos on that program, and she's getting a good amount of views.
Oh wow.
You know what I mean?
And it's so like crazy, so many people blow up on TikTok every single day.
Oh, it's so
like, the range of blowing up is so like big, like anyone can just blow up.
I have a follower on Twitch. He's a pretty religious follower, not actual religion, but he comes to my stream every single time that I stream. Shout out to you, Red Ghost. His real name is Joshua, but he has 20,000 followers on TikTok, and he just does like 10-second gaming clips, and he has 10,000 people that like love to watch that.
Wow,
that's crazy to me.
Yeah,
that's crazy to me. Let's talk about support. I know I said I believe in you, but there's gonna be some people in your life, some people in your like direct family, people indirect family.
That's such a good topic to talk about.
That aren't going to support you. I have
some stuff to say about that. Because at first, like, my mom doesn't really understand.
And they're not gonna understand.
Yeah, my dad doesn't really understand.
My
dad supports me. Like, he watches my videos and he sees like, oh wow, mija.
Saw the twerking videos.
But like, I feel like when I'm recording at my house, you know, if my mom hears me talking like in a video, Anna, come do this. Mom, I'm doing this video.
Yeah.
No, come do this, you know? She hasn't been like that lately, but I'm just like saying like it's so hard
It's
to
kind of like walking on eggshells, right? You're like, oh, really don't want to hear it, and then it's kind of awkward too. It's because like she's not for it.
No, it's not that she's not for it. It's just that they just don't understand.
Yeah.
Like they don't understand. Like that's why I told my mom like coming up like, hey, like I think I'm just gonna like not work throughout, you know, Monday through Friday for work and work only weekends so that I can focus on kind of like my second job.
Yeah.
But it's not really a job because it's fun. It's something that I love to do. And I'm
mentioning
just
it as a second job was a good tactic for her.
yeah, that's why I try to like throw it out there because, you know, she may not understand like, oh, hey, like, you know, this is something that Anna, you know, I mentioned the money and stuff like that. So, but I don't think she can fully like grasp like what it is.
I can come into terms with that because my dad didn't understand in the beginning either. Back when I was doing gaming, because I have a gaming channel too. Back when I was doing gaming YouTube videos, like he would always be like, why are you always on that game? Why are you always doing this, doing that? But I have this thing, and I have a video up on my YouTube channel giving the 4 fundamentals to changing your physique, right? Which has nothing to do with this, but there is one tip that I have in there, and it's actually a Bible verse. But to sum it all up, it talks about how you need to be very bold. You have to be very vocal with what you have in your head. Your dreams, you need to write them down, and the people that are around you directly, you need to let them know that you're very passionate about it. And even though that they don't understand right now, they just you being so passionate about it, they're gonna buy into your goals.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened to my dad. Like I remember sitting down with my dad, I was like, look, because he just didn't understand. I was like, look, Dad, like I know you don't understand, but like, you know, like I love this stuff, and gaming has always been one of my passions since I was young. It's helped me cope with whatever was going on and all of this stuff, and I'm super passionate about it. So that was my way of being bold and letting him know, like, look, like I'm very passionate about this. This makes me happy. And honestly, since then and from then on, he's always liked
Supported.
it. He's liked it. Like I would be editing videos or recording videos, and he would come in my room and just sit down and like watch, and he'd be like,
wow,
oh, that's cool. Yeah, you wouldn't expect that from my dad,
yeah,
right?
no.
But you have to have that approach, like where you like, you know what, the people around me, I know you don't understand. You don't have to understand, but just understand that this makes me very happy.
Yeah, and kind of like, cause I had taken like a couple, like September, I filmed my last video, posted, edited, and I didn't post until recently this past month. And, you know, I have a boyfriend, and he never really understood, like, or not that he never understood, is that I never brought it up to him like, hey, like I have a YouTube channel, you know, and it may not seem like that I don't, but I do. I just haven't been posting. I've been lacking, you know.
Yeah.
So to bring that up to him and just kind of explain to him like, hey, like I really want to start hustling and, you know, just grinding, just getting back into it. You know, it kind of just opened his mind, and I was like, oh wow, okay, like all right, I'll let you do your thing, you know, because at the end of the day, it's like you have to have like, you know, your space so that you can fully just go into it. And you know, and that's something that he really understood, and you know, I'm so grateful that he did, because like he gets it. He gets it. I talked to him about it, and I told him like, this is what I want to do. I have so many ideas, like, you know, and he's like, no, yeah, I watch YouTube all the time, and I've seen people just blow up, and you know, he
That's
just
good.
understands.
That's good that he supports you. Like my wife, she believes that I have the capacity and the capability of being very what's the word, effective. Like she thinks that I can inspire and that I have the capability to do things great in this world, just off of speaking and motivating people and all this stuff. That's what she believes in me. But not really on this like type of like social media platform type in the beginning. Now she understands and she supports me 100%. But in the beginning, she would much rather see me on the field, like going up to people and talking to people, or whether it be at church or, you know, at work.
But
like,
there's so many different ways you can reach out to someone.
and that's what I had to explain to her, because she was really like, because she doesn't see it physically. She's not seeing that I'm impacting people physically. What she sees physically is me in this room just drowning myself on this editing program, recording on these microphones.
I'm so glad you bring that up, because that's exactly how I feel like my mom sees me.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, it's not that. Like, there's people who watch,
Yeah.
you know?
And people love it.
Yeah. And they just don't.
And
at first.
actually, I feel it's better. Like, I feel like you're able to, everybody has a phone.
Yeah.
Everybody has all this access to YouTube or whatever. So you're able to reach a mass of people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Rather than if I go and talk to you, Anna, and I inspire you, which I have before. Nah, I'm just kidding. No, which if I go and I inspire you, that's great. I love that. You know what I mean? I love inspiring, and I do some direct one-on-one and like, you know, I help people out.
You can always do both.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I think that it'll be a lot better and more effective to do it. And I like this identity. I like the whole social media identity, and essentially you can be whoever you want. But if it's not authentic, obviously people are gonna notice. But you know what I mean? You have that control. But yeah, the support has been tricky from different angles.
Yeah, and I feel like if I'm in my room just filming myself, and then I live with my mom and my brother, and then they just hear me, they're gonna be like, ew, cringe. But it's like, dude, you don't understand.
Talking to the city girls.
Yeah, no.
Which I'm so happy I have my own house now.
Oh my god.
You want to get your own apartment, don't you? Or
yes, because I feel like I can do so much more, being in my own space.
You feel so much more comfortable.
Yes, like I'm over here in the camera, like talking, like, hey guys, like I'm doing my hair, and then like if I'm by myself in my car, I feel like I can talk loud. No one's gonna like judge me with what I'm saying. So that's exactly how I feel right now in my house. And I feel like, oh, they're not gonna understand like what I'm doing, but I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah, I'm able to yell in here. My wife's a hard sleeper, so I'm vibing I'm vibing in here, you know what I mean? And I feel so comfortable in this space that I'm just like, man, like,
that's what I want. I feel like that's what I need to just give me that extra push to just.
But it is a big responsibility, though. Moving out.
I bet.
It's expensive.
I don't want to be an adult.
There's some stuff that, especially someone who's just about to move out, that they're not prepared and they just don't see. I was very unprepared when I got this house. I think I spent like $11,000, like just boom, just spent it all, and then
oh hell no.
And on top of that, like we had to get appliances. I mean, necessities.
Oh yeah.
Toilet paper, napkins, soap, all that stuff. That was a lot too.
Cups,
just little
dishes,
things,
and
light bulbs, stuff that you just can't you know what I mean? So it's a lot. But apartment's a little bit different because you have a landlord that he needs, they have a certain standard where they need to help you all out too. But
yeah, so I just feel like I just need my own space to just give me that extra push. And don't get me wrong, I like living with my mom. Don't have to pay no bills or anything like that.
She doesn't see this podcast.
I know,
I'm pretty sure she's afraid of you moving out. Like,
I bet. Yeah, I know she doesn't, but she knows I want to move soon. Yeah. So,
but I'll tell you what. Going back to the support thing, I have full support now from everyone. That's like awesome. In my family. Like I get messages from my mom, my dad, even though he doesn't know how to access the Spotify podcast. He was just like, oh yeah, I see your videos on Facebook and that's real good, mijo, and you know what I mean? So even though he doesn't actually watch the podcast, like I'm so happy that I have that type of support. Yeah, I know my brother, she's the co-host, so like he not only does he support it, but he wants a part of it. My sister watches every single one of my podcasts.
And it's so awesome to just have everyone just like, oh yeah, I watched your video, like thank you so much, you know, like it means a lot, because so much work just goes into that. And with editing, oh my god, that's another thing. Editing, like to start off a channel, like you really just have to just focus on just your editing, and that's super time consuming. Like you can spend 4 hours just editing an hour video, by 30-minute video.
Like this podcast is getting way too long. I'm gonna have to be editing for like 2 hours.
Has it been 2 hours?
No, but the editing process is gonna be 2 hours. No. I'm just kidding. Go ahead. Yeah, but no, yeah, and I've even received some type of support from even people on social media, like messages like that. I have some screenshots from years years ago when I was just streaming and making gaming YouTube videos, people would message me and how they said like, "Oh, I made their day," and like, you know, like,
Oh, that's so
man,
awesome.
honestly, almost tears would come out of my eyes back then when I would get these messages. I would screenshot them and like all that stuff.
No, yeah, and it just keeps you just wanting to do more.
Yeah.
It keeps you motivated, and it keeps you wanting to be like, wow, like I just want to do this, you know, I just want to keep doing it. And it's honestly just the people, you know, that just are interacting with you. And I've had this girl since I started my YouTube channel. She comments on every single one of my videos. Like,
You know her?
no, I don't know her.
Wow. That's
And
great.
it's just like, oh, it's so awesome. And then people are like, oh my God, I love this video. And it's like, oh, cool. You know, I want to do more.
Mhm.
It's just like an endless cycle.
Someone actually approached me at Walmart the other day, like, "Oh, like you have the podcasting, right?" And then I was like, "Yeah." And then just that, like, I was driving to the gym and I was like, "Man, like that's such a good feeling." It just one person, like, you know what I mean? That's even if I had the ability to impact one person, like that feels great to me.
Yeah, for sure.
With the whole support thing though, it is important to have people support you that are around you, but at the end of the day, I think you have to believe in yourself more than anybody else,
No, yeah, for sure.
because if you're relying on other people's support, you're gonna end up failing, because that's just something that you cannot control. You cannot control somebody else's emotions.
And I'm so glad I already think like that, because if I were to be like, if someone were to tell me like, no, like, you know, what if it doesn't work out? Like,
Yeah.
maybe just don't try it. I always tell myself like, if you never try, you know, okay, like if I try and if I fail, I can at least say that I tried.
For sure. And part of that is because that person is afraid of taking that chance.
Leap of faith.
Yeah. They're just afraid. Like they wouldn't do it to themselves. They wouldn't do it for themselves. Logically, it doesn't make sense to them. So why would they do it? But you know, it's your passion, it's your dream, not theirs. So you have to. I'm training someone, right now, at the gym, and I always tell them like, bro, like I know what you can do. I know the potential that you have, right? But if I believe in you more than you believe in yourself, you're not gonna succeed. You have to believe in yourself more than I believe in you, and I believe in you. I believe a lot in you, bro.
You have to want it.
Yeah, you have to want it, and you have to see it. You have to see the vision. You have to write it down. You have to think about it. You have to trust the process, but put in the work, and it's gonna happen.
You have to be your biggest support system,
for sure.
because if without you, like no one else is gonna do it for you.
For sure. But I think we covered majority of what Matthew Lozano, $12 tier Patreon member, has requested. So for those of you that want to get started,
Just do it.
just do it. Just do it. Get started. Inevitably, everything else is going to fall in line. If you're truly passionate about it, I'm telling you, you're going to engulf yourself into that. And eventually, everything else is going to get better, just like this podcast is going to get better.
Yes.
So thank you all for watching. Thank you, Anna. Make sure you go check out Anna's channel.
Subscribe.
It's more than likely it's been on the screen the whole time, and links will be in the description. So thank you all so much for watching. We're out.
Out. Good job. Period, poo.
Well.
On the track.